صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and His choicest blessings be upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Another example, we have the tablets. Is it possible that in the lab we have different salts or different compositions? Say, this is sodium, this is chlorine, this is potassium, this is nitrogen, this is helium. They're all in different jars. And we are supposed to make a strip, a tablet. And we know that every tablet has, say, 5 mg or 500 mg from paracetamol, 200 mg from omeprazole, 100 mg from this. And this has to be exactly appropriate, otherwise it won't function properly. It will have the adverse effects if the measure is not taken care of, if the proportion is not taken care of. So is it possible that these things are in the different jars in a lab? Then all of a sudden there was a havoc-like situation. There was a stormy situation inside the lab. Then the jars all of a sudden were opened up, and each ingredient got gathered up according to its proportionate level. And then all of a sudden tablets came into being. In the human structure, we have the sugar, we have the iron, we have the potassium. It's all in a moderate level. If the sugar level increases, problem, diabetic. If it decreases, diabetic. Subhanallah, la ilaha illallah. Who put this appropriate level of sugar? Appropriate level of, proportionate level of iron and other ingredients? Is this blind energy so genius that it knew the exact proportion of each and every element? So if it is blind, and as these atheists say, it is all the blind energy that caused this universe to happen. So now we have to believe whether this blind energy is conscious energy or it is consciousless energy. And if they say it is conscious energy, which they cannot say, but at the same time they cannot say it is consciousless, because the way the things are created with different elements with appropriate proportions, which cannot happen of its own, and the natural laws which hold this universe together. And there are subtlest mathematical equations involved into it. And had there been slightest amount of change in these mathematical equations, then this present universe would all collapse. So who set these minutest microscopic, rather ultra microscopic, these equations who set them into motion? It's again blind energy of its own, and the diverse species of animals, flowers, plants, and then human beings. Each and every one created in a specific order. So it is it is damnably impossible to prove that it happened of its own. It was not the grisly and ghastly dance of the atoms and ions. That the things were put together and they came into being, they came into existence. No insane person can buy this argument. And then I said to this guy, okay, tell me one thing regarding the Big Bang. If you are supposed to create a beautiful structure, we put all the required material together, the bricks, the sand, electric wire, electric bulbs, window panes, doors, paint, everything, handles, screws. So we put it all together, then we explode it by dynamite. Can we expect a beautiful structure out of it? Or what do we expect? The whole material will be scattered apart. Then how this unique explosion happened in the history of this universe? That the bang happens at the cosmic level, and then instead of causing any sort of destruction, each and everything is created in its ultimate form and design. So is there any other argument? Of course not. So they skip such things. Ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah mentions, and our fuqaha our scholars have addressed these issues long back. An atheist came to Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and he said, I want to have a debate with you regarding the existence of God. Abu Hanifa says, rahimahullah, there is no doubt about his existence. He says, no, I can prove that God doesn't exist. But this debate should be not just in the closed door room. This should not be a closed door meeting. Rather, let we call the people, they will gather at a specific place, then we have a debate. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah said, okay, done. We will have a discussion on existence of God. So they set a date, they set a time. Say for example, Sunday 10 o'clock. It's not exactly the same day, just for the sake of argument. When it was 10 o'clock on Sunday, and the atheist was already there, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah is not seen anywhere. And the time is now over, 10 o'clock, 10:05, 10:10, but Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah is not seen anywhere. And now this atheist, he began to just, in an arrogant way, in an arrogant tone, so how come he will face this debate? Because there is no way to prove that God exists. And the people with the weak faith and iman, they too became also confused. But after some time, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah came. He said, Sheikh, you are late. He said, yes, I'm sorry, I'm late. Actually, what happened, when I was supposed to come to this place, there was a river, and I'm living on the other side of the river. When I reached the bank, there was no boat which could ferry me over. Then I had to wait. Then all of a sudden, what happened? There was a tree. It cut down spontaneously, and after it was cut down, then another coincidence happened, that the tree was now cut into different planks, different sheets of wood. And I'm watching all this. And then after that, what happened? These different sheets or different planks of wood, they were joined together spontaneously, and there was none. And then it took a shape of a boat. Then this came of its own spontaneously, and it floated on the surface of the river. So I just got on the boat, and then without any oars, without any direction, without any sailor, it ferried me over. So this process, it took some time. Cutting down of the tree, then they were divided into different planks, and those planks were gathered together. So this process took some time. That's why I was late. So I'm extremely sorry. The atheist, he said, we are not crazy people over here. What are you saying nonsense? That the tree was cut off its own, then it was divided into different planks, and those planks were gathered together, and then it surfaced on the surface of the river. It floated off its own. How is it possible? Deadly impossible. Imam Abu Hanifa said, rahimahullah, when this small event is not possible, when you yourself deny this small event, that the things can happen of its own, then can this whole universe, the whole phenomena which takes place into this universe at the grand macro level, is it possible that it can happen of its own? فَبُهِتَ الَّذِي كَفَرَ. So he had no any argument. So overwhelming majority of the thinkers believed in the existence of God, and there is no way to deny it. I always say that it is very easy to say that there is no God. It's deadly impossible to prove that there is no God. So the argument of these atheists, or these mulhideen, or they are also known as Dahriyun. Allah also makes a reference in the Quran about the Dahr. They are the people who says that إِنْ هِيَ إِلَّا حَيَاتُنَا الدُّنْيَا نَحْيَا وَنَمُوتُ. It is only the life of this world. We are born and we die. وَمَا يُهْلِكُنَا إِلَّا الدَّهْرُ. And it is only the alternation of day and night that causes us to die, and nothing else. In hiya illa hayatuna dunya. This is the only life in which we live and we die. So people are purposelessly born and they purposelessly die. They are born for no reason and they die for no reason. However, when we see the universe itself, there is tremendous reason and causes behind its creation, which simply says, I always say, last time here in Malaysia I met one of the, he's a Buddhist doctor but now atheist. But his family background is he's from Buddhism but now atheist. So we had a discussion. I said, okay, tell me one thing, since you are a medical doctor by profession, simply the structure of the eye. If there is no God, and it is just grisly and ghastly dance of the atoms and ions, tell me one thing, why do we have different retina? 7.8 billion people living on the planet. No two people have identical retina. What is the reason? Why each and every single human being has its own specific individuality? Our voice tone is different. Our fingerprints, different. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said 1400 years before. La uqsimu bi yawmil qiyamah. Ayahsabu al-insan allan najma' idhamah. Does the human being think that we are not able to gather his bones? Bala qadirina ala an nusawwiya banana. Subhanallah. Banan in Arabic means the fingertips. And now modern science discovers and believes that each and every single human soul has a different these fingertips, different impressions, different set of impressions. And it is in this, you see the small 1 inch. And the design of one person doesn't match with other person. And this 7.8 billion designs are within 1 single inch. La ilaha illallah. In just 1 inch. Our retina is, it is what you call millimeters. It is millimeters, a few millimeters. And within this 7.8 billion retinas, different structures, different programming. Now we have the biometric attendance. You just have to see into the camera, and because no two retina can be identical, even the twins which are born. Why this individuality is maintained if there is no God? This individuality is maintained because each and every single human soul is accountable for his own actions and deeds. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. No bearer of burden shall bear the burden of others. I am born, I live on this planet, and I am accountable for all my deeds. So that's why my individuality has to be maintained. And Allah showed this how I can maintain your individuality. Though our physiology may appear to be same, our anatomy may appear to be same, but still we are different. The human smell, altogether different. The voice tone, altogether different. Okay, if there is some similarity in voice tone, but there is no similarity as far as the fingerprints are concerned, as far as the retina is concerned. Why this individuality is being maintained? Because La ilaha illallah. Allah has created us for a specific purpose, to maintain our individuality. As Allah says in the Quran, every one of you has to face Allah individually. There will be no collective reckoning. Individual reckoning is there. Every single soul will be questioned individually. You and me will be questioned individually. And then is this blind energy so genius to draw the patterns within 1 inch, and drawing the pattern of 7.8 billion people. Not only 7.8 billion people, there have been until now trillions of the people, and there may be also the billions and trillions of the people, because we don't know exactly when Allah will just collapse this whole universe. But as of now, billions and trillions of people have come to this world, and no two retina, no two fingerprints are matched. They are not identical, they are altogether different. How is it possible for this blind energy to arrange such different patterns within this one small inch, or within a span of some millimeters, to draw the different pattern and structure of the retina. That is La ilaha illallah. That's our Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showing His tremendous power and knowledge. But how can I do this? That is Alim. Al-Alim. When we reflect upon this universe, when we reflect upon our own creation, Wallahi, summa wallahi, then we realize the meaning of Al-Alim, Al-Azim. Then there are some important other discussions regarding this, because this is one of the, unfortunately in the Muslim world, this menace is growing slowly, and though microscopic minority is being affected among the Muslims, so we need to address this problem. We need to address this issue, knowing the methods, and then how to rebuttal it, we must know about it. So one of the important arguments is that of John Mill and Bertrand Russell regarding the denial of existence of God. We discuss it inshallah in our upcoming session. So far, if there is any question with anyone, you can ask me. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun alal mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.